Hello everyone and welcome back to my video blog. I have received comments, call, email, text from many of you that asking about what do I take about the current situation. We have war, we have inflation, we have stock crash and real estate. So since I am so-called a professional real estate investor as well a real estate broker myself, right? So what do I take about? So just like in the stock, they say historical data might not predict the future, but they always look at back the historical data, right? So I'm going to give you a macro view about, it seems that every decade we have some crisis, okay? And we start any decade with some crisis. Like in the 80s, we start the 80s with the oil crisis, the Iran hostage, and then the 90s, we have a defense industry meltdown in California, and the saving and loan collapse all over the US, right? And the year 2000 is what? We have a dot bomb, okay, dot bomb for internet stock meltdown, and also 911. Okay, so those are some crises that we have in the 90s, okay, and early 2000 century, right? The early 21st century, and then what? The decade of 2010. What do we have? That decade, is not right in that time frame, but toward the end and toward the beginning of the last decade, what we have? We have a big, foreclosure, wave, tsunami, we have to say, and the mortgage meltdown at that time, that lasts pretty much a good 4 or 5 years, 2000, start in 2008, 2007, start 2007, but however the waves start moving up, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, okay, those years, right? Okay, and what? We start in the most recent decade, 2020, what do we have? We have our coronavirus pandemic, right? Okay, and then now, what do we have? We have the stock down 22% since the beginning of the year, and however, real estate price and rent are still holding up pretty well, substantially pretty well. Okay, so 20%, 22% down on the stock market, and the real estate still holding, and the rent is still pretty high right now. Okay, I have mentioned on my previous video about the lost decade of 2000 to 2009, when the S&P 500 start, and when you put a $10,000 into the stock market, I use the index of S&P 500 index, and at the end of 2009, you have the same. You have 10,000 and up to 10,000. You don't have any gain. You lose out to inflation, right? Okay, so what we are looking right now for the last 5 years, the S&P 500 has run pretty well. Okay, if you look at the last 5 years, it has an increase, an annual ROI. I say annual ROI average about 11%, 10.98%, 11%. Okay, in the same period of time, you look at the past 5 years, the annual ROI in real estate has returned 33%, three times the amount. Okay, and I'm going back to mentioning that that is a national survey. They already done that one, and this is a matter of fact already. A homeowner net worth versus the net worth of the person that does not own real estate. Okay, so the average homeowner in the U.S. versus the average renters. Okay, the net worth is 40 times for the homeowner. So in 2019, CNBC has a survey that talk about the net worth of a homeowner in the U.S. California is a poo-poo, but you have to talk about the other state. In 2019, it's about 250,000 for the net worth of the homeowner net worth, which means that after all the loan are pay off. Okay, so 250 versus 6,300 for a renter. So it's 40% difference right there. So my take is, I always say how you can build your net worth through real estate with a savings. Okay, So instead of saving, executed your plan to purchase real estate. Okay, some people, I already mentioned why you should purchase now despite of don't time the market. Time is on your side, as you go along, and then one of these days when the interest rate fall down again, they go up, you go down, right? Okay, you can always refinance. However, you still reap the benefit of the real estate is what? Okay, tax deduction, appreciation. I already mentioned it always appreciate better than inflation. Okay, and then if it does have, it is a rental, you have also the depreciation and tax write-off, tax deduction right there. Okay, so I welcome your comments, and until then, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.